Welcome to the Deucecast Extra live on Tuesday to talk about the penultimate episode of Percy Jackson, episode 7, of course. And this resolved quite a bit to set up for the finale, so I was glad of that. Got a bit confusing for me, and we'll talk about that. But what is up? You just changed your name to Fluffy there, Jacob. How's it going?
Fluffy was in this episode. Good.
Yeah, Fluffy.
I'm
yeah,
good.
that's right.
This was a very good episode. I
Yes, it
really
was.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I seriously enjoyed this episode, like way more than I was anticipating that I was going to enjoy it.
Mhm.
Garrison, how's it going?
It's going well. I did think I was being brought on here to talk about the FAA scandal that's going on right now.
I know.
I guess
yeah.
we're talking about Percy Jackson. So
Yeah, I think we probably should talk about Percy Jackson.
I don't even know this.
I'm not well versed enough into the FAA scandal that's going on right now, so we will probably talk about Percy Jackson. That's probably the best thing to do. This, like I said, penultimate episode. Welcome, Uncle Brian hanging out. We got Andrew hanging out. Yeah, this episode was great, Andrew. I very much agree. A lot of casting stuff that I was personally unaware of that I was happy to see. I never read the full cast list, so I had forgotten who Hades was going to be, and I had forgotten who Poseidon was going to be. These are really good character actors that have been around for a while, and even the guy that played Procrustes, he's a character actor. If you look at that guy's IMDb profile, he has been in everything, which is really awesome. He's been in like X-Men movies. He's been in Marvel movies. I mean, the guy's been in a ton of stuff. But
236 acting credits for
that guy that
Richards.
played Procrustes.
Yeah.
Yes, dude has been in a ton of stuff. He has been in almost every franchise you can imagine. Yes, Podcast of the Wills, we are also very excited for Bad Batch Season 3. Of course, we'll be covering it here. And I know Podcast of the Wills will be covering it as well. I'm very excited for Season 3. It's going to be so good. And probably devastating
covering it on
in many ways.
streaming Star Wars.
It's coming out in the nick of time.
Oh,
I see what you did there. I like what you did there. Yes. Okay. No more distractions about Bad Batch. Let's talk about this episode of the Percy Jackson journey to Hades, basically. Garrison, if you could look at this episode and compare it to how they handle it in the book, how does it feel?
A little disjointed. I'm really
they covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that you guys enjoy this. I too enjoy this, but I have to kind of remove myself from the book sometimes because I sit there and just kind of stew in like, man, it's just, when you read a great book and then they adapt it and then you just start going, it's not the book.
It happens.
Like
Argyle.
Sometimes changes are better.
Spoilers.
Like Argyle, that book Argyle that just came out that they've adapted into a movie.
Written by Taylor Swift. Everybody should go see it.
It's not written by. It's written by I can't remember.
You've never heard of authors using fake names?
That's true. Yeah.
There's something with the name too it points it to being written by Taylor Swift.
It was.
Everybody should go see it as many times.
It's an anagram of Taylor Swift.
It's an anagram of Taylor Swift, or Templar Knights wrote the book, or no, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I imagine because they're covering so much ground in this episode, I imagine the book is a lot more detailed.
Yeah, so I mean, Krusty is an entire chapter. I think that's the one that bothered me the most in terms of like, I didn't like the change, was he just walks into Krusty's place.
Right.
And is just like, yeah, I know who you are. I know what these are. Fall on the bed, old man.
Yeah.
In the book, they walk into the place and they're like, this is kind of weird. And then I think one of them gets trapped on a bed and then they go, oh crap, Krusty's Procrustes. This is, another person we got to get past.
So Percy in the show knows right away who he is and calls him out on it. But in the book, he has to figure that out a little differently, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Procrustes is one thing they did hint towards in this episode that I liked. He talked about the fit on the bed. Basically what he does is chops off whatever's hanging off of the bed. In the books is what he would do to people. It's if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
And so that's what he's hinting towards, though no one fell in the beds because they changed that to get past it sooner. I get it. I was just kind of like, I kind of like that scene in the book.
Yeah.
But getting into Hades.
Yes.
Getting into the underworld, getting to Hades. It's fairly different. I mean, Fluffy is not his name in the book, but
oh, is it not?
No, that's Harry Potter.
Oh,
Cerberus.
I don't. Yeah,
he is in the book, and they do have to get around him. Though I think Charon, who is differently pronounced from Chiron, as they say in the book, and literally pointed out to you how to pronounce it in the book. Charon does, I think, let them go through the river Styx or whatever and guides them along, and then gets them to the point where they're at Cerberus or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And then they somehow get around him. I don't exactly remember. It may have been the ball. Not as epic a scene in the book.
I wasn't paying full attention when they picked up the ball, and then they were like squeaking it, and I couldn't. They weren't showing the ball on the screen. I was like, "What's squeaking? What's happening right now?"
My dog got a toy.
Yeah, I'm like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, dog toy."
Well, I thought, in hindsight, I thought that was a weird and. I still don't understand. Like, I get it. I guess he picked it up as like a stress ball, but I was like, that's kind of convenient to have grabbed it in that moment and then have it there.
Yeah,
but it's fine. Overall, you get to Hades. I'll just kind of speed this along because there are minor differences here there that I'm not going to fully touch on. But
yeah.
You get to Hades. That's probably the second biggest difference in this episode besides Krusty's. I mean, Hades is presenting himself like a god in the book, like he is gigantic and imposing, and does want his helm back, and that's the trade that he does want to make. So that's true to the book, but it's just a little different in kind of the way he comes across, book to screen.
Maybe a dumb question: is the invisible thing that Annabeth has the helm?
That's not his helm, is it?
No, that's her cap. She got that from Athena.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm with you, Roth, because I immediately thought the same thing, and I thought they were going down a road when that was mentioned that she was actually bad and had been doing something evil the whole time. But yeah, I guess that helm's different.
Well, there is always a part of that prophecy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you'll be betrayed by someone you trust. That's what I thought. I mean, maybe the prophecy was finally coming true because he said, yeah, the helm, the one that can make me invisible. I'm like, wait a minute, that the hat does that too. So yeah, I thought that's the way they were going.
She does explain earlier in the show and definitely in the book that the cap comes from Athena. It's like a gift.
I thought I remembered her saying that, but I was like, what if Athena took it from Hades?
Yeah. Is your dog playing with a candy corn stuffed animal? Oh, okay, I just noticed that in the background. I was like,
yeah, she's a big
fan. That's her upstairs toy.
The candy corn.
Yep.
That's good. I like that. So anyways, I love that Jay Duplass, I did not look ahead and see who, so I was excited to see him show up as Hades. I think he's a really good character actor. And gosh, the acting in this episode was really better than it has been.
Let me touch on one more book change. Just
go ahead. Yeah,
the acting point. The Sally backstory flashback stuff is not in the book at all. But maybe the best change of the show.
I loved
in terms of its added some real depth and good emotional scenes in this episode, especially with that scene between her and Poseidon was awesome. Not in the book, but obviously consulted on with Rick because he's written some scripts for the show and is heavily behind production here. There are some criticisms I have for this show, but that's probably the thing they've knocked the most out of the park, is giving Sally way more of a backstory than she ever had.
That kid that plays young Percy is really good in this episode too. Like the two scenes, the one he has in the car, the one that he has in the restaurant. I mean, the moment like he just does, really good acting methodology. Like when she's touching his head as he goes by, he sort of turns away from her a little bit. I mean, I was impressed by that kid in this episode. I was like, man, just
Azriel
emotional.
Dahlman.
Yeah, crazy name, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
His name sounds like a character name in a book,
Mm-hmm.
Azriel.
Yeah, he could fit in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so anyways, I liked him a lot. I love that Toby Stevens is Poseidon. I had not read ahead to know that. Toby Stevens, the first time I saw him, he is one of the villains in one of the Pierce Brosnan James Bonds.
Die Another Day?
Yeah, Die Another Day. And he's
Gustav Graves.
So sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It's a very forgettable film. I've seen it like 5 or 6 times, but it's a very forgettable film. He's not even the main villain. He's just like one of I think the Asian guy that's in that one is the main villain, if I'm not mistaken. He's just like a henchman or something. He's got like gold teeth or something with his teeth. I can't exactly remember what was going on with that character. But loved that he was Poseidon because he's another really good character actor. He's been in a ton of stuff also, but he never really hit it big in Hollywood.
Like he does his biggest work in TV.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff probably for BBC and Sky and all that.
Okay, he did Alex Rider, so he's in 2 of my favorite children's series growing up that I read around the same time being adapted to TV. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a good character actor. He's been around. So this cast overall in this series is pretty solid. It really leads me to believe that there's got to. I know they haven't announced it yet, which is kind of surprising. But there's got to be a second.
Some of the best streaming numbers of.
Yeah,
I got to think they're waiting until that, like they did with Loki, where that final episode dropped and it had a stinger at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
I guess we would have found out today.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna watch it after we're done recording. I mean, as per usual. But it's I would have ventured to say that there's got to be a second season.
They've got scripts ready, and the actor Walter Scoble was talking about them already kind of, I guess, doing scouting for stuff. So
yeah,
it's not confirmed, but
let's dive into some of the details of the episode then. The backpack that Ares gave to Percy ended up having the bolt in it all along.
Yes. That's also something that's revealed a little bit earlier in this episode than Percy figures out in the book. Not too far off, but it doesn't happen before he meets Hades.
I was an idiot when this happened. I was like, "Oh, is that his shield? Is that Ares' shield? This is gonna be awesome."
Yeah.
And it fell out, and I was like, "That kind of looks like a bolt, but I don't think the bolt would look like that." I was like, "Maybe it's not the Master Bolt." Right. And I was like, "You idiot! Obviously, it's the Master Bolt."
Yeah. So basically, that's pointing in the direction that Ares stole the bolt, but there's a reason that's kind of revealed as to why he stole the bolt.
Yes, so it's ultimately Kronos' plan.
Yes. He's the big bad, basically.
Also, Percy coming to that conclusion is a bit soon in terms of book timeline.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, we've only got one episode left, so they had to move fast. Yeah.
I did mention earlier on in our extra stuff that the story of Kronos, and they mentioned it a little bit in one of the episodes, is an important story going forward to this book series. But I didn't want to spoil he's coming back and is going to be a big bad.
That's cool.
But obviously now you know that he is a big bad at some point.
He's the big bad as far as we know right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just don't want to.
Yeah, it could be revealed that somebody else is the big bad, but as of right now, as viewers, we think that he's the big bad. He's the one that's caused the bolt to get stolen. He's the one that. Well, now, did he also steal the helm as well? We don't know that. I don't.
Well, whoever he had steal these items, I would imagine, stole both the bolt and the helm to start the war.
It seemed like nobody really knew the helm was stolen, unless I missed it earlier on.
Hades did, but
Hades obviously.
Hades isn't really connected to.
Okay.
He'll show up for one of the solstices, I think. Maybe the summer. But yeah.
It makes sense that Kronos would be the bad guy because earlier with that little dream sequence thing, with the guy that's not from Lost, nice.
Yes. Nice Forcecast. Well,
The
we're celebrities, guys. We've got the Forcecast here and Podcast of the Wills joining us. I mean, this is just that's hilarious.
Sorry we don't have Star Wars tonight.
I know, yeah. Sorry there's no Star Wars show on. We got to talk about Percy Jackson, which I'm enjoying. It's a good show.
It is. During that dream sequence, they were talking about how it's somebody like bigger than like Zeus, and I was like, and like trying to pit them. Like, I was like, who could possibly be like a scarier figure than like Zeus and Hades? And this makes sense that it would be Kronos. Again, didn't know my Greek mythology very well.
Yeah, you think Kronos, I automatically think God of War. I'm not even a gamer, and I automatically think that the God of War, massive, bulky, muscular character in that game.
Kronos is a Titan, which are, pre-gods.
Wait, is this a Marvel series? The Titans and Marvel?
That's DC, Mikey.
Yeah, that's DC.
It's DC.
Oh, is that No. Oh, what do they call them in Marvel? What do they call them in Marvel?
The Titans are like
Celestials.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
the big, massive things. The one that
I mean, I guess isn't Thanos a Titan?
I thought. The Mad Titan. Yeah.
Okay.
Stop confusing me.
But like the Titans, when you talk about superheroes, is like
I was talking about Titan
Robin
as in as in Thanos. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, immediately makes me
Superboy.
That's right. It's Monarch. It's a tie-in to Monarch. You're right.
Yeah.
Another
crossover. Kaiju's coming up next.
Kaiju's next. Yeah.
Again, I take all my Greek mythology knowledge from Disney's Hercules. So
I get all
that's
my.
how I know
I
the
did
Titans.
look it up, by the way, and Hades only is allowed into Olympus on the winter solstice. So
that makes sense. Winter.
I knew it was one day.
Nobody likes winter.
I'll be honest. I'd have preferred James Woods to have been voicing Hades here, or to have been playing Hades.
Right.
Reprise the role.
I just like J. Duplass because he can actually infuse a little like comic timing as well, and just sort of.
No, J. Duplass is good.
Yeah, a little aloofness as Hades, and
let's be honest, James Woods will never be working on a Disney project
ever, or any project ever again, probably. I mean, but he's not trying to either. I don't think.
No,
I think he's retired from everything.
He's producing, I think, still. But anyway.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Anyway.
So Percy finds his mom. I mean, she's a statue in the underworld that Hades, quote unquote, saved her. He even used those words. He said he saved Percy's mom, which is interesting to me. That's an interesting turn of phrase that he used.
Oh, I just looked up what James Woods was a producer on.
Executive producer.
2023 movie. Massive movie.
I mean, possibly the best picture winner of
maybe even director.
Executive producer on Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
he was the one who got that ball rolling for that movie to even be made in the first place.
So he gets an EP nod.
This is a long time ago. Like
that's what I'm saying.
How great would it be if he was the only one to go up and accept like the best picture nom?
He will not be invited to the Oscars. I can guarantee you that.
But there are a lot of people who've noticed his name in the credits and been like, "What?"
That's interesting. I had not even put
the guy that Family Guy named an elementary school after.
Yeah, exactly. Who's this guy? That's interesting.
Follow him on Twitter.
He has probably made a lot of money off of that movie then. So
yeah, I don't know how that works.
I don't know exactly how all that works.
Probably made a decent amount.
He probably made a decent amount. I bet they hate that too. I bet they hate that. But anyways, it is what it is. So back to Hades saving, quote unquote, Percy's mom. I mean, she's a statue in the underworld. How is she saved?
So
better than swimming in the river Styx.
Basically froze her in stasis. She'll have hibernation sickness when she comes out.
You have hibernation sickness.
There's your Star Wars, guys.
That's your Star Wars reference.
But yeah, he does it in the book too. He freezes her at that point right before she's going to die, so that he has a bargaining chip to get his helm back. And that's why the harpy, not the harpies, but the Furies in the first episode, they're screaming at Percy, "Where is it?" And you think, because you've been introduced to this mystery of the bolt, that they're talking about the bolt.
Wrong MacGuffin.
But the Furies work for Hades, and they're talking about the helm.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
That's why they don't say, "Where's the bolt?" They say, "Where is it?"
The famous twist of 2 MacGuffins in a series. That's interesting. What?
Where's that Christmas Vacation reference coming from, Andrew?
Yeah.
It's almost February, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a bit cold, you know.
It is a bit chilly right now. It's still winter here.
Ooh, is it getting a little hotter in here?
Hotter than there.
Look, Russ, no line.
So Hades offers Percy something. Basically, he says, "You give me the bolt, I'll give you your mom." Is that basically what he's saying? And Percy,
quid pro quo. Although at first Percy is assuming that Hades wants the bolt.
Right, yeah, he goes, and then when he finds out, no, this is the wrong MacGuffin, I need to get your helm. I mean, it's basically what it is. He wants to now take the bolt back to Zeus himself. He doesn't want to let Hades do that.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go find the helm.
He didn't make the same mistake Emma Stone made in Poor Things.
That's right.
He's gonna hand deliver it.
That's right.
He essentially, though, does sacrifice his mom in that moment because he has a chance to get her back.
Well, not necessarily. No. It's not really sacrificing his mom, because if he returns
he's
the
saying
helm,
he's gonna bring the helm back. But in that moment, he had an opportunity to bring her back, and he has no guarantees that he can find the helm currently. We don't know where the helm is. We don't know who stole the bolt in the first place.
His mom made him go to that crummy school. So, I mean, he kind of
she can stay frozen in gold.
She can stay frozen in carbonite for a while longer. She'll be just fine. She's preserved perfectly. So I liked the part I know we're jumping all around. I liked the part in the bar where she summons Poseidon by lighting the match and dropping it into the sundae. That was
I didn't fully understand that, but I'm whatever.
Yeah. Is that how they do? Is that how she summons? Well, no, you said that wasn't even in the book.
It's not a scene
So
from the
that's
book.
Interesting.
But
I need to
read
figure out
forward.
the summoning.
I'll have to read forward in the series again.
And then
I'm trying to finish like another book series. Like I read Percy in the middle of 2 books that I was reading, and I was like,
you did not. Speaking of this other book series, you did not warn me that these books were so long. These Sanderson books,
they're epic fantasy. What the
Michael, are you reading?
Oh, dude, this year's. Well, I'm reading. I'm usually doing 2 books at the same time this year. I'm reading a hard copy of a book, usually a Star Wars book, because those are like fluff. I mean, you can get through those without being distracted too much. And then also at the same time listening to the Sanderson books, the Mistborn series, not the other one.
At some point, some point soon, by mid-February,
yes, Brian,
I will have started Fellowship of the Ring.
Awesome.
Oh, nice, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I need to read that also this year. But right now I've got 7 Sanderson books I have to get through before I can read.
Those are the same 7 I'm working. I'm on the 7th one. So
well, you're way ahead of me then.
Let me just tell you, there's also a novella you should listen to in between 6 and 7, but I can get you the audio for that if it's not super available.
Anyways, this is sidetrack as always.
It's a great novella.
I think we just need to rebrand this to the Deucecast Reading Show.
Yeah, real quick.
I'm way into Sanderson. This book. I'm way into this book.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
Dude, I love it. I really, really like it a lot.
I really want to see that on screen at some point. Like, how are they going to do that?
I don't think they'll be able to. I can't. Not well. Maybe. It just depends on who does it. But anyways, sorry.
Visionary. But I was gonna say Era 2, the second series of books, they're short.
Okay.
So
yeah, they do look shorter, but man, these next 2 after Final Empire.
Oh my god. Okay.
Dude, they're so long.
Well of Ascension, which is the second one,
can
be a little bit of a slog sometimes.
As long as it's not like reading the third Ender's Game book. What was it called? Eaters of the Dead or something like
Speaker
that?
for the Dead?
Speaker for the Dead.
Love that book. I've never read it.
That book sucked. That book sucked.
The second book is a lot of once you finish the first book, let me know, and I'll
No, you're good. I just noticed my clementine peel. I'll put it in the Discord. Looks like an orange, or I'm sorry, looks like an elephant.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Clementine peel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes me want a clementine right now. That's not fair. That does kind of look like
an elephant. There. There's a little
bit.
The little top of the bottom part looks like the eye.
It looks more like a heffalump from from
Winnie
Tigger
the Pooh
and all that. Winnie the Pooh, yeah.
Heffalumps and weasels.
Yeah. Wait, what is this? Whenever I tell my mom I'm reading a book, why? Books are good. Warm orange. This is definitely a Deucecast reference. Warm orange.
I can't even imagine putting an apple in the fridge. That's crazy talk.
I know people that do that, but there's no point in. I don't understand why people do that. I mean, an apple tastes fine without being cold.
I feel bad because sometimes Chop Chat is full of so many messages that I just don't go back and read.
Oh, I do that. Chop Talk is if I miss it, I'm like
That's all the channels though. I mean, yeah, all the channels are that way. What were we talking about?
Star Wars Bad Batch.
We were talking about Mistborn.
No, we got to get back to Percy Jackson. We got to get back to Percy Jackson.
Reading.
Yeah.
You see, Percy ingests metal and then burns it in his stomach, and it gives him special powers.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like Sanderson.
Yeah, I mean it's I like that concept. I'm really digging the whole concept. But anyways, it took me a second to get into it, and I'm like, okay, so this is just Sanderson's version of the Force is basically what this is.
Yeah,
and once that light bulb clicked for me,
yeah,
I mean, I started to enjoy the book more. But
now,
I really like all the characters.
If you ever want to go further, the Stormlight books are even longer.
Well, that's not part of the Mistborn series, is it? Or is it connected also?
It's connected very loosely right now, is my understanding. I haven't read any of Stormlight yet.
I think those are the ones Rhett's reading is the Stormlight ones.
Yeah, they're gigantic.
Did y'all hear that, by the way?
No.
Okay, good. I never know if you can hear my computer sounds when they happen.
This is feeling like an after show now. Percy.
Why are you yelling at the screen, Brian?
Because you guys are talking about Sanderson.
No, he doesn't even watch Percy Jackson.
Yeah, but you guys are talking about Sanderson. We're not talking about Percy
Jackson. Brian likes...
Okay. We haven't talked about Percy Jackson in 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Just
Fluffy.
Kidding.
Calm down, Fluffy. Jeez. We always
say Fluffy like Hagrid.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Fluffy. That was horrible. A horrible impersonation of Hagrid. Good gracious. So this school... She not reading Chop Talk. Oh. Does the school that Percy was being dropped off at, is that a school that Poseidon wants Percy to be dropped off? Is it like a school for...
So I think you have to remember that Poseidon at the end of the day doesn't want Percy to go to the camp because the big three are not supposed to have children. Zeus, Poseidon, and that's like hit upon the head in the books a little more. And there's a lot of inner thoughts about that stuff. But Poseidon doesn't want to reveal that he had a kid when he shouldn't have had a kid. That he fell for a woman that he shouldn't have.
Zeus has all kinds of kids. What do you mean they're not supposed to have kids? Are you talking about...
Zeus's kids
they made a pact. They made a pact because their kids were becoming too powerful. And they were being hunted down by monsters a lot at young ages because they gave off like more... Basically, they gave off more pheromones than other, however you would say that.
They had a higher
other demigods.
Count.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They were burning too much tin.
And so... They're not 10 eyes, I'll tell you that. But...
That's right. Oh, okay, Brian. That's cool. So, Brian, that's interesting. Didn't he write Mistborn first?
We were so close.
That doesn't matter.
Sorry,
Fluffy.
Sorry, Fluffy. Book, but Mistborn is...
Yeah. Wait, is that just Fluffy? Just calm down for I just have to ask one question. So when you there was a book before the Final Empire. Did I need to read that first?
Elantris. It is connected. Oh God.
I didn't even notice it the first time I looked at his.
You could read through all of Mistborn, and there are things in the seventh. There are things in the seventh book that maybe would make you go, "This is new to me." If you read Elantris, you would go, "Oh,"
because it's short. It looked like a short story almost, or.
Oh, you're thinking of no.
No, I am thinking of Elantris, but it seems short. It's shorter than the other books. I mean,
yeah,
but maybe not that. Okay, well, I might have to go back and get that one then. Anyways, proceed. Proceed.
What were we talking about?
This is the Sanderson cast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're gonna.
No, you're fine.
We're turning into
the inside jokes. It's fine. It's whatever.
Here.
It's whatever.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so back to Percy. So the kids were becoming a problem, basically. Too many kids. They needed to stop having kids. So the three brothers made a pact. Basically, Poseidon, Zeus, and Hades made a pact. No more kids.
That just from those three. The other gods were
just from those three. Yeah.
It's the big three basically saying, we can't do this anymore. And we're all going to have to agree. Like, we all have to agree here.
No more knocking up human women.
You cannot break the promises here.
Okay.
Thalia, the girl who was turned into a tree, was I think supposed to be the last child of Zeus at this point.
Yeah.
To this, period, present day. And Percy is, I think, the last of Poseidon's that we know of to this point. Hades, we don't know yet. Maybe he broke the promise too.
Okay. So really, the gods so is Hades kind of ticked off that Percy even exists then?
Hades and Zeus would be ticked, although I think Zeus is more ticked off.
Because Hades didn't appear as ticked off. Yeah.
His master bolt was stolen by Aquaman's kid.
Poseidon's which kid. Was never supposed to be alive, basically.
Which was never supposed to be alive.
Yeah.
So was the Asian dude that's not the guy from Lost, was that Zeus?
No, Zeus is played by the John Wick guy, remember?
I think that's supposed to be like Kronos, based on the way that they were talking about it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That would be my interpretation of that scene.
Yeah, because he was
Kronos is talking to the guy
lightning thief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kronos is talking to the guy that stole the bolt.
I don't think the Asian guy was Kronos. I think he was one of Kronos's cronies.
Okay.
I see what you're saying there.
Because he's definitely someone that speaks for Kronos, though. I'll say that.
Yeah. So he was talking to the actual lightning thief at that time, and maybe the helm thief also. I don't know if he stole both items.
I would say the lightning thief stole the helm as well. Would be my interpretation currently.
That makes sense.
Ares.
So that's cool. Well, no. I don't think it's Ares. I think Ares just ends up with the bolt.
I think at this point in the book and in the show, Ares is the most likely answer.
I'll say that the person that was sitting across from Kronos's crony did not look like Ares to me. Even though I know it was like you couldn't really tell, but looked like a smaller person than the Edge.
Perhaps a friend that Adam could betray Percy?
I don't know. That's what I thought. Could it be Grover?
Luke.
I am your father.
Annabeth's friend from the camp.
Friend. Yeah, the guy from the camp.
Isn't that Luke?
I think his name's Luke.
Mm-hmm. The one with the scar under his eye.
The one with the scar. Yeah.
Not really been in the story that much, but.
But they could go back to him.
My 12-year-old friend was telling me a bunch of TikTok theories she was seeing about Luke and Percy, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, homegirl. But now I'm thinking maybe she's right.
Yeah, because that did not look like Ares. Ares's profile sitting there at that desk.
I mean, I don't know why people are guys. The text exists
because he's got a scar.
We know who did the job.
No.
He's got a scar. People with scars are bad, Garrison.
The text doesn't exist, nor does the movie with Alexander Daddario.
By the way, same lightning thief in the movie.
No, I'm not buying it.
I didn't see it.
This is a new story.
I didn't see it.
Never before
they're
been
changing everything is being changed. There's no book. See, this is why you don't read books, kids, because it ruins the movie when it comes out.
I know. If a Mistborn movie comes out, I'm probably gonna be like, man, that was not as good.
I just don't know how they could do. Well, they could do it. I mean,
Kelsier is gonna be great though on screen. If they get the right
cast as Kelsier.
All right, when are we talking about the Netflix Marvel shows? Another thing that I haven't seen.
Well, here's the deal with the Netflix Marvel shows. Oh, stop. Now you've got Echo?
Just the case.
Just the cases.
Yeah.
Just the cases. All right. Well, that's fair.
I didn't make the disc yet.
Oh, look.
Have you? You haven't started them yet?
You didn't make the disc yet in Minecraft. That's what you're supposed to say. Like if you throw in Minecraft, it's in Fake World.
Yeah.
So, Roth, you have not started the Netflix shows yet? What are you even watching right now?
2023 movies.
You got
I gotta watch American Fiction. That's coming to my that's at my theater.
Yeah. Are y'all really trying to watch all 54 nominated movies?
No, I just watch Best Picture nominees, and then sometimes I do the animated films. Although I really don't want to see that Netflix one. I'm okay.
Red said it was pretty good, but I don't want to see.
Red said it was better than Killers of the Flower Moon. I don't.
But he's saying that about everything. He's saying that about everything.
He literally said he was like, he didn't care for it 10 minutes in. So I don't.
Well, I've probably got 7 movies that I'll watch left.
Oh, he said not
Oscar
bad.
stuff.
Okay.
Anatomy of a Fall, Zone of Interest, maybe Naiad, May December.
Zone of Interest is coming out this weekend. Actually, it's going wider this weekend.
Elemental,
so
Nimona.
Yeah.
Godzilla
but also, you know what comes out this weekend? Argyle.
That's right. Everybody should go see it. Because Taylor
Argyle.
Swift is going to be in it, and she is our goddess.
She's not in it. The most recent.
She wrote the book.
I mean, she probably wrote the book, but
she can do anything she wants, Michael. She is woman. Hear her roar.
She can. Yeah, right.
She's going to get a Super Bowl ring.
You know, she would break
deservingly so.
She would break the world if she flipped and decided she wanted to vote for Trump.
That would be awesome.
She would break the world.
She doesn't care about the environment, obviously. With how much she uses her private jet.
Because she's going to have to take a jet plane from Tokyo to make the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Somebody has charted a course for her to go so she can make it back in time. Because she's got a concert the day before in Tokyo, and she's going to make it back to the Super Bowl because she has to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's going to perform with Usher.
She's not performing at the Super Bowl.
She can do anything she wants, Michael.
She's not. Can she be in Percy Jackson?
She's also this 4D chess psyop, apparently, according to idiots online.
She's Athena.
I think she is.
Jackson.
I think she is too. She's not psyop.
Psyop. Freaking idiots.
No, I mean, she didn't really garner. She endorsed Biden in 2020, and maybe only 35,000 people, I don't know, became new voters because of that. I mean, it wasn't.
I'll say my one thing I'll ever say about conspiracy theorists on this extra.
Okay. Yeah.
They want to believe something, no matter what you tell them, they will always believe it.
No, yeah, that's 100%.
I have found that out.
That is.
Did you guys
it doesn't
see?
Matter.
It was after the divisional round. Some local news station ran a headline that said Usher is going to perform at the Super Bowl at Super Bowl 58 between the Ravens and the Niners.
Yeah.
And people were like, see, look, NFL rigged. I'm like, yes, that's exactly right. The NFL is leaking information to local news stations. That's exactly how they would rig the NFL.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Not like the local news stations took the 1 seed and then just accidentally put that on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's just exactly. That's all that was that's ridiculous.
But now it's rigged because that thing didn't happen, and actually it's the Taylor Swift and Kelsey thing. So
we were wrong, but we were still right. We just didn't see exactly what it was, but we were on the right path, brother. How about some supplements?
Supplements. Yeah, it is always the supplement.
Here's
guys.
a picture of me with dark lighting, and here's with light. That's my favorite. The Alex Jones pictures where it's darker lighting and he's actually properly lit.
Ridiculous. So stupid.
This is the only whey protein I sniff.
Maybe we should start selling whey protein on here. Maybe more people would watch. Oh man. Yeah. So what else do we have to talk about in this episode? I think we talked about everything. I really liked the mom in this episode. Was heartbreaking. Everything about she was really good in this episode.
I love that what Poseidon's final lines are basically saying that he will eventually be there for Percy. Kind of narrating over that moment right before Percy's about to take on Ares in battle, which is a huge deal. I mean, Ares is not a lightweight, obviously.
No, his sword is definitely bigger than Percy's in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting battle. Did you guys watch the after credits scene? That is just basically like setting up I can't decide if I like that they do that.
I was actually kind of hoping this 1 week they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I think that would have been like cool for the final episode. Be like, no, you got to wait.
You got to wait till today. Right now, it's over. I mean, it's available to watch right now. You can go find out everything about it. As of this, and I think this is it always goes down, but it was at a 9.2 on IMDb, but it's already gone down to a 9.1.
Oh, sucks.
So, yeah, exactly.
Bad.
How many? Well, it's only 63 votes. Usually, all the episodes have been around like an average of like a 7.8 generally.
Okay.
I mean,
people did not like the Vegas one. That's a 7.0.
Yeah, I saw people call that
one
right.
Yeah.
I liked it.
And I was about to say I've liked every episode in this series. In fact, some of the ones that people have said they like, I got colored, kind of like, oh, this one wasn't very good. I'd go in and watch it thinking, oh, this one isn't going to be very good, and probably liked them better because I came in going, oh, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think it's a solid adaptation. There are things I wish they could have done better. There are some tension things I think they could have absolutely done better in this show in terms of building tension. But hopefully they nail the landing. And hopefully we get a season 2 with my least favorite book. So we can move past that real quick.
I imagine that based upon the numbers that they've been advertising or releasing, that it's got to have a season 2.
Yeah, I mean it's doing better than Marvel shows. It's doing better than Star Wars current shows. I mean that's property that look, Disney better strike while the iron's hot.
That's right. Well, we will definitely be back next week. I want to get off here so we can talk offline about the FAA conspiracies.
That's not a conspiracy. That's
not a conspiracy. The lawsuit.
It's a lawsuit. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know about that.
The FAA admitting certain
sorry to our listeners. We're going to have to do that offline. But I want to know all about it because I don't want to read that thing you sent me because it's too long.
I knew that was too long.
I just want you to tell me about it. So,
sounds good.
Anyways, Roth, what's coming up for the Good Day for a Movie podcast?
Yeah, so our last episode was on Next Goal Wins, and we're continuing the 2023 train. Oscars, though, so with our next review will be December.
Man, I'm starting to wonder. I've watched that movie twice, and I feel like I'm the only person that didn't like it. Seems like everybody else that watches it, like Dave likes it.
I'm interested to see what I'll think.
So
I feel like I tend to lean more towards you on your likes,
see.
But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
A couple other Oscar movies coming up later in the month as well, but big news. I guess this is breaking news if you're not in the Discord, because I talked about it on the Deucecast, which is coming out tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
But next Wednesday, the 7th, I have assembled a team.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm excited about this.
Of Protestants.
Not that I'll watch the show.
Including Dr.
No, I'll
Earl.
watch your show. But I won't watch the show.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Including Dr. Earl, who you know from the Deucecast Extra.
Yes.
As well as Matt Mink from the Soundtrack of Life podcast, I think is the name of it.
And Man-Child Movie, but he doesn't like to talk about that one.
So we will be on the Good Day for a Movie podcast YouTube channel breaking down the first 3 episodes of The Chosen, which hit theaters on Thursday. And the first 3 are there till the 14th, and then after that, 4, 5, and 6, and then finishes off with 7 and 8.
Like Earl committed to this?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Quick,
my entire
this
thought
was
like,
his idea.
Earl always complains about like I don't have time to do this and that.
I know.
If you remember back, like this was like maybe like 6 months ago. Dr. Earl said something about wanting to start a religious podcast.
He does. I think
breaking down movies and shows.
I think he does.
And he said that to me, and since he said it, I was like, son of a gun, I really like that idea.
I think
but I just wasn't at a point to commit to it. I'm less busy now, and I was like, Dr. Earl, Matt, let's stink and do it.
That's good. That's good. No, I think there's an untapped market there.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Are you going to go after you get done with The Chosen? Are you just going to go through the Vatican list?
That's not a bad idea. There's another podcast that did it. It was called Criteria. It was an interest. The 2 dudes that did it were, quite dry. Not much of a personality behind them. Yeah. But
were they wanting to be super serious?
Yes, they were very serious.
Okay. Wow. Andrew loves The Chosen.
There we go. There's one viewer. But going to be a 3-hour, 24 minutes.
But
yes.
Maybe if your show is so compelling, maybe it will compel me to watch The Chosen.
Maybe? That's quite the pressure.
I've never seen a second of The Chosen. But
I tried, man. We tried. I
just finished the rewatch of it with the girlfriend last week. So
the whole thing,
the first 3 seasons, it wasn't that long.
How many episodes is that?
20-ish.
So let me ask you this: I did watch that Christmas thing they did 2 years ago, where they had like bands like singing and all that. Was that episode in the season also?
No. That's a full.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's just a special. Like,
didn't they do that again this year? Like they had another Christmas special.
Well,
this year?
I think it was the same one. So they had the acting part of that, like the story part with like the birth of Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one. Maybe I have, but they had another one too of the shepherds, and so they edited those 2 together. And then
did like
had the music stuff,
songs and stuff. Yeah.
And that's what they put out in the theater. I did not go to that.
Well, it was on one of the streaming services.
Yeah.
We just watched it at home.
Yeah. I think it was on the Angel Studios app or something.
No, I don't have that garbage.
It could.
It was on an actual. Oh, it was on Peacock. That's what it was. It was on Peacock.
Okay.
Yeah, randomly. I don't know why, but it.
What was?
The Christmas thing that they did.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen the musical part of it. I've seen the 2 story parts, which were fine. Nowhere near as good as
they license it to Netflix.
Property.
Maybe
they licensed The Chosen to like everything.
Yeah, Netflix, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, okay.
It's on the CW now.
On Prime. I can't remember.
Yeah,
it was on one of them. The Real Chosen with Nicodemus, etc. Huh?
The guy who plays Nicodemus is a big time actor. I can't remember his name, but he was in like The Mummy.
Oh, you're talking about Abraham Ben Ruby or whatever his name, or Ben.
He's like a real actor.
Yeah, I know
he was good. He was very good in it. I'm excited for his return.
I need to be in a different mindset watching that show, I think, than I when we tried to start it. But
yeah,
the production value is actually pretty good for it.
It is, and I think, I mean, there's definitely some times where like you're like, okay, these are like not A-list actors, but I think they still give pretty darn good performances.
I like the guy that was in Jesus Revolution. He was good.
Yeah, Jonathan Rumi. And see, if you only watched the first episode, is that all you watched?
Maybe we got to the second one. I don't know.
He was only in the first episode for the last like 3 minutes.
So I think we've watched the first 2 actually.
And the first season, I don't think is.
Wait, so there's a pilot and it's not connected to the first season?
No, it's complicated.
Yeah, I mean, it is complicated because originally it was made. So the shepherd was the pilot type of deal. which is that thing they edited into the Christmas thing.
Yeah.
But Rumi got cast as Jesus because he played Jesus for one of Dallas Jenkins. Like he was making like a movie for his church, like a short film for like an Easter thing. And I think he was Jesus there. And that's how he kind of sort of got cast in it. More to it than that,
I'm probably the only person in my church that hasn't watched it. It's like almost like you get excommunicated if you don't watch that show, and if you're in a Southern Baptist church.
Hey, if you get excommunicated, I got a church for you.
Right on.
We'll welcome you.
I know. You guys need as many as you can get.
We'll put the white smoke up here.
Yes, that's right.
The Catholic Church.
That's right.
Did you know that the only requirements to be Pope are you have to be Catholic, baptized Catholic,
sure,
and you have to be a male,
and that's it.
I know that.
I mean, yeah,
you don't even have to be a cardinal, apparently.
Oh yeah, so you don't have to go through the whole.
You don't even have to be a priest.
Wow,
they could elect me Pope.
I think historically, like I don't know much about Pope history, but has there been any Pope that was just some dude? I mean, I'm sure everyone before. I'm sure, like the person that they pick was probably somebody that was already in the papacy.
Well, the papacy is just the Pope, but I see what you're saying there.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. I mean, I would guess that early church stuff, they weren't all just bishops and cardinals. I would guess that there were some that were.
That's interesting. Did not
like
know that.
Just priests. I don't know though. I don't know my papal history very well either.
So tell us where you can be found online.
Roth from Wyoming, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd. Put a new list out there last night. Some movies.
I did not realize you had so many lists. I was reading through all your lists.
And you were liking them all. I got all the notifications. I was like, what's happening? And I was like, oh, okay. We're just going to put my phone away for a little while.
Never turned
I've got a lot of lists on there, don't I?
Yeah, you do. But Dave has 56. So
how many do I have?
You might be up there with him with the amount of lists.
I deleted some of my lists.
I don't like lists. I have a few lists. I have a few.
There's nothing more than I like than to make a list.
I've got 34.
I've got my favorite of mine is movies that Jeremy Burgess likes that I don't. That's
I have
my favorite list.
Boyhood.
I have 90 lists.
Yeah. That list website crashed my browser. No, we're talking about Letterboxd.
Maybe that's what he means.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's talking about sorry, yes, we're
so many packets.
People can
right from Wyoming.
And the Chosen show is going to be on the Good Day for a Movie YouTube page. Are you guys doing it live or just releasing it?
We'll do it live.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
I'm pretty sure. I guess I haven't I don't know if I told them that, but yeah, live is better.
Live is,
and
fun.
then
because then you just end up 30 minutes talking about nothing. That's what people love. Is
I have not.
Right. That's what I'm gonna tell myself.
I have not talked to Tate and Sage, but I'm thinking about putting it out as a podcast on the Good Day for Movie podcast as well, like on Thursdays or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Don't tell them. Who cares?
Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell them that I'm doing it.
Yeah, just don't involve them. They don't need to know.
Yeah.
Isn't it like partly Tate's brand or whatever? I mean,
that's what it started as. He hasn't done a single thing with it in like 2 years, 3 years.
Big brand ambassador. Garrison, where can people find you on the interweb?
You can find me on Twitter at GRyfin3, GRYFUN3, on Instagram as well. You can find me on Letterboxd at GRyfin, GRYFUN. Last thing I watched was Poor Things. I did not rate it. I strategically don't rate things sometimes because I don't want to upset people.
I would like to know after we get off the air.
So
what you think of Poor Things.
Once I watch American Fiction, that will be rated, so it will not show up in people's feeds.
Right on. I can be found at the Michael Nip on X, as the kids say, and also the Deucecast, of course. Tomorrow's episode of the Deucecast movie show is, I guess the easiest way to describe it is it's a 2024 movie draft. Basically, myself, Dave, Roth, and Garrison draft movies, and we're going to keep track of it all year long box office weighs into it. Oscar nominations, Oscar wins,
Rotten Tomato scores,
Rotten Tomato scores.
Oscars kind of dominate the
list.
Well,
the Globes are on there too. Like Globes count because we wanted to be able to include comedies. I don't think any of us chose a comedy.
I didn't know that.
You got If.
Oh, I did get If. Yeah, you didn't know about the Golden Globes part? That was on his list.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because I told Dave, I was like, you can't just do Oscars.
Dave changed the rules on us. I'm
gonna protest.
Yeah,
the draft is under protest. You also
this was an illegitimate.
I am going to make it official protest based on some of the shenanigans that happened at the end of it as well.
Yeah, I think there does need to be an official.
There's a teaser for you.
You need to,
Look, all is fair in love and war, but under protest.
Under protest. Yeah.
You got Dune Part 2. I think you're fine.
I do too. I keep forgetting to do this. We need to ask the later viewers to leave comments.
Right. Yeah. What do you want?
I've got the question. What is your favorite dog in movie or TV history?
Oh yeah, we need to know
Anatomy
that.
of a Fall.
What is what's your favorite dog, do you think?
The one from Sandlot's pretty darn good. Hercules.
Yeah, that's a good dog. I hate that movie, but that's a good dog.
Let's see. The movie's not as good as people make it out to be.
Up. That movie doesn't hold up.
James Earl Jones is the best part.
Yeah.
Other good dogs. I Am Legend dog, pretty good. Sad.
Marley and Me, great dog.
No, I read that book, and I was. That's probably why I don't read. I'm like,
I saw that movie.
Stupid.
That book broke you.
Yes, this is stupid. Why would anybody read books if this is what they can do to you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like they clearly want to torture. Old Yeller and then you got that.
My favorite dog, like
Where the Red Fern Grows.
Andrew said,
Where the Red Fern Grows.
I grew up watching the Benji movies, so my favorite dog is Benji.
Beethoven's
a good dog.
Yeah.
All right, we're naming all of them. We need to so if you actually listen to the end of this episode, what is your leave in comments?
What was the PBS show with the time traveling dog?
Oh,
he had like a spot on his eye. Fido, no, Spot, something like that.
I don't know. There was now another dog. This is way before y'all's time, but on Nickelodeon when I was a kid, there was a show called Belle and Sebastian, and
cat dog.
It was a dog it was a Saint Bernard, and I loved that show so much.
Is Bluey a dog? I've never seen that, but
I've never seen that either. Blue from Blue's Clues.
We don't talk about Blue's Clues here. Isle of Dogs. Yes,
I've never seen Isle of Dogs.
That's Wes Anderson.
Yeah,
that's why I was thinking of Ireland, but
yeah, Isle of Dogs. All right, we'll be back next week to talk about the finale of Percy. Holy cow! Yes, Brian, Belle and Sebastian. See, Brian's about my age, and I'm really being generous there with him. But yes, Belle and Sebastian was good.
Kind of dark.
What's that dark?
I'm really being generous.
Maybe he's a little older, so I'm being generous with. He's close to my age. But anyways, we'll be back next week to talk about the finale of Percy Jackson, and then I guess we're doing a Madam Web roundtable. I guess
we need to send an email to Dakota Johnson to talk about it with her
and Sydney Sweeney.
Oh well, yeah. I mean that's a given.
Well, and Isabel Merced. I mean, so I wouldn't mind having her on there also, because literally we'll probably
be the perfect ratio. We can each talk to one. Yeah, it'll be.
I think that Dakota Johnson is really close to disavowing the movie altogether. She fired her agent and switched agencies, and I think she's really close to just not even wanting any. I don't even think she wants it to come out. It's tracking so low. It's tracking bad.
It's gonna suck.
Well, then we definitely need to do a roundtable on it. I mean,
I'm all in.
Talking about
so Mikey can have another year of pretending that a Sony movie's good.
Morbid time.
Oh, he doesn't have to go for a full year this time, luckily, because there's 3 of them coming out.
Yeah, we got Craven. We've
Craven
got
and Venom.
oh man, we've got all kinds of great Sony movies coming out this year.
Oh,
yes,
Emma Roberts. I'll take Emma
Yeah.
Roberts. I'll bite the bullet.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, all right. We'll be back next week. Everybody have a great night. Bye.